hunger, determination, desire, seeking God will bring breakthrough in your life. If you are struggling in certain areas, I'm telling you right now, you need breakthrough. This is why the Lord, in His Word, it says you better go into a fasting and you better go into a prayer. This is a particular type. Man, the kingdom of heaven is full of lovely things, providing us everything we need. If you're struggling in certain areas, you need to fast. Why? Because you need to shift your hunger. You need to shift your mind to being hungry for God. Your mind desperate for Him in your life. Desperate to get all of hell and all of self out of you. When you seek Him and you're determined, that hunger and fasting will bring you to your breakthrough. God taking Moses off of that flock brought his mind from curiosity to a surrender, and it brought Moses through a breakthrough because now he knew exactly who God was. Addictions thrive because you carry a starvation for it. Pride thrives because you feel justified in an area that you refuse to let go. Fasting eradicates those things, but only if you're doing it in the correct way. You have to be fasting because you're starving for a breakthrough. The Holy Spirit will lead you into fasting by directing you through instruction. He has instructions on these things. Pressing it on your heart through His Word. He's like, you're going to need to fast for this. God doesn't make you fast for His pleasure. It's always for purpose. And what have we been talking about? What's God's end game? It's always redemption. Because redemption keeps you and Jesus and the Father and the Father and you in Him. Eradicates separation. But if the desire and hunger for God to come in and turn you away from habits and routines and self and darkness isn't there, then your fasting will be meaningless. It has to be done with the right heart and motive. You will refuse to look when God is trying to get your attention. God uses such pride and rebellion to make us desperate. To make us desperate for Him until we starve for Him. He will use tribulation, trials, judgment, because He loves us that much. How else is he going to get the hell of self, the hell of us? How else do you get a king's attention who is probably in his time a billionaire? He conquered almost every nation, Nebuchadnezzar did. He was very successful. How else do you get a man's attention that where a ton of nations are bowing to you? Your house is immaculate, your palace. You got funds. How else do you get such pride's attention? Only the Father knows. So you don't have to believe me. Do you know how much self and hell it is for people to use this as an excuse? Well, if that's God and He's bringing judgment, I don't want anything to do with that. Your Father is doing everything He can to get you back in unity with Him because He knows what hell is waiting to do to you. There's literally an eternity at stake. Your Father is desperate for you. How much more does He know what you need to get and root out every bit of self and hell? For Nebuchadnezzar, He says, I've got to go into his mind and for 7 years place him as a beast in the field. And you might say, well, that's just harsh. That's ridiculous. Well, Nebuchadnezzar didn't think so, and he's the one God did it to. If you think that's ridiculous, then you'll stand before God and say, well, I think that was just cruel. And Nebuchadnezzar is going to stand right there, and he's going to say the same words that are written in here. I'm going to tell you something. That was not cruel. The Father was just. He's the most faithful, the most loving God, says the man that God made his mind into a beast for 7 years. That's the length that God will go for us to get our attention.